You stand up to grab a glass of water, just for a moment. You are not leaving the house. You are not going anywhere far. And yet, before you even reach the door, you feel it. Soft footsteps behind you. A quiet shadow moving at the exact same pace. You turn around, and there they are. Your dog, watching, following, waiting. You take another step. They take another step. Room to room, corner to corner, always just a few inches behind you. And at some point, a strange question begins to form. Why do they follow you everywhere? Even when nothing is happening? Most people believe it is simple. They say your dog is just being clingy, or bored, or maybe they just want food, attention, or something to do. It feels logical. After all, dogs depend on humans. So of course they stay close. But this explanation is incomplete. Because if it were only about need, your dog would not follow you when they are already fed. They would not follow you when they are tired. They would not follow you even into quiet, meaningless moments. And yet, they do. Which means something deeper is happening. Something you cannot see. The truth is, your dog is not following your body. They are following something far more important. They are following your presence. And that difference changes everything. Behavioral science has shown that dogs do not simply recognize you as a provider. They recognize you as a source of safety. Not abstract safety, not logical safety, biological safety. In controlled studies, researchers adapted attachment tests originally designed for human infants. The results were quiet but powerful. Dogs showed the same patterns as children. They moved closer when their person was present. They showed distress when separated. They relaxed the moment their person returned. This is not obedience. This is attachment. And attachment changes how the brain works. Inside your dog's mind, your presence regulates their emotional state. Your movement is not just movement. It is information. When you walk away, their brain asks a question it cannot ignore. Is everything still safe? So they follow, not because they are unsure of the world, but because they are sure of you, and they want to stay connected to the one thing they trust most. But there is another layer, one that is even more invisible. Chemistry. When your dog looks at you, something happens inside both of you. A chemical called oxytocin is released. It is the same molecule involved when a mother holds her child. It creates a sense of bonding, of calm, of belonging. In studies where dogs and humans interact, researchers observed something remarkable. When a dog gazes at their owner, oxytocin rises in both. The human feels more connected. The dog feels more secure, and this creates a loop. The more they look, the stronger the bond becomes. The stronger the bond becomes, the more they want to stay close. Following you is not random behavior. It is part of that loop, a living system of connection. Now think about this. Your dog is not following you because they are unsure. They are following you because being near you literally changes how their brain feels. It lowers stress. It increases comfort. It stabilizes their internal world. And this leads to something most people never realize. Your dog does not experience your absence the way you think. From your perspective, walking into another room is nothing. From their perspective, it is a shift in their environment, a shift in safety. That is why the behavior can feel so persistent. Because to your dog, staying near you is not a choice. It is regulation. But here is where it becomes even more meaningful. Because what is happening is not one-sided. Recent research into heart rate variability has shown that dogs and their owners begin to synchronize. Their nervous systems align. When you are calm, your dog becomes calm. When you are tense, your dog subtly changes, without words, without awareness, just presence. So when your dog follows you, they are not just seeking comfort. They are maintaining a connection that keeps the internal state stable. And in many cases, they are also responding to you, even when you do not realize it. There is a moment most people overlook. The small, silent moments when you are not doing anything. You are just standing, thinking, existing. And your dog is there, watching, not asking for anything, just being near. This is not dependency. This is attunement. They are reading you in ways that are almost impossible to measure. Tiny changes in posture, breathing, energy, and staying close allows them to stay in sync. Now, here is the part that changes how you see everything. If your dog suddenly stops following you, it matters. Because this behavior is deeply rooted. It is not random habit. It is a stable pattern built over time. So when it disappears, it is not meaningless. Sometimes it is environmental, a change in routine, a new person, a shift in space. But sometimes it is internal. Dogs often show subtle behavioral changes before physical symptoms appear. Less movement, more distance, a quiet withdrawal. Not because they love you less, but because something inside them has changed, and distance becomes easier than effort. Your dog does not use words. Behavior is the only language they have. So following you, there's communication, and stopping is also communication. But here is the emotional truth behind all of this. Your dog does not follow you because they have to. They follow you because you are their reference point. In a world full of unknowns, you are the thing that makes everything predictable. Your presence answers questions they cannot ask. Your movement defines what matters. Your existence gives structure to their experience. And when they walk behind you from room to room, they are not just moving through space. They are staying connected to their world. There is one more insight that most people never consider. Following is not about control. It is about trust. In the wild, animals do not stay close to something they do not trust. Distance is safer. Independence is safer. Closeness is a risk. So, when your dog chooses to stay near you constantly, they are choosing vulnerability. They are choosing to rely on you as their safe place. And that is not small. That is one of the deepest forms of trust an animal can give. Because it is not taught, it is felt. And then comes the moment that changes how you see your dog forever. You realize they are not following you because they are unsure of the world. They are following you because you are their certainty. You are the one thing they do not question. The one thing that makes everything else make sense. And when you walk away, they follow not to check where you are going, but to make sure they are still part of your world. Because in theirs, you are everything. So the next time you feel those quiet footsteps behind you, do not ignore them. Do not brush them off as habit. Pause, look back, and understand what is really happening. A mind is choosing you. A nervous system is aligning with you. A life is organizing itself around your presence. You are not just their owner. You are their center of gravity. And maybe the better question is not why they follow you, but what it means that they chose you to follow at all. If you have ever noticed your dog doing this, or if there is a moment that made you realize how deeply they are connected to you, tell me about it. Because sometimes the smallest behaviors carry the biggest truths.